Okay, so welcome back. This is video number 4. Let's talk about demographics, which is really crucial to understanding who you are targeting before you actually begin to drive traffic. Because the worst thing that you can do is drive traffic without even knowing who you need to target. What age, what, sex, female, male, whatever, and all that. The life stage and all that is very, very important because if you attract the wrong person, then you're not going to get really the conversions that you're looking for, right? So don't invest any money yet. Let's talk about demographics. So like I said, before you can use any traffic source 1, 2, 3, 4, you need to do this research. I'm going to make it quick as possible so you can get an idea. You can go do it yourself and you can be on the road to figuring out how to build up your Instagram following. So basically you need to know who you're targeting. Like I said, male, female, age, life stage, all that. And you can get all that information for free by using a free tool. Now this way you find a high quality follower who will love, consume, and engage with your content if done right. So here's how to do it. Basically the way it works is once you have found your broad keyword, which you should have figured out in the previous video, you can use the free Facebook Audience Insight tool, as I will show you in just a minute. Okay, so the best way to get to the Facebook Audience Insights tool is simply by going to business.facebook.com/ads/audience-insights, and that should forward you here. If you have any problems, you can always go to google.com, do a search for the Facebook Audience Insights tool, and you should find the link here. So sometimes Facebook will change the links, so that is the case. That is how to always find it out. So the way and the reason why I like the Facebook Audience Insights tool is it really drills down to the point that you can see who your demographic is. Now, the best way to do that, especially if you're getting started out, is you can do it in two different ways. You can either go find a magazine that is very popular in that niche, or you can simply type in the interest here. So up at the top, you can search for a specific country. So normally it sets you within the country that you're searching from. In this case, from United States, and you can always click the X and you can add like UK, Canada, Australia, or whatever else countries that you're looking for. You can also specify the age and gender, but I wouldn't do that right now. In fact, I wouldn't do anything right now. The only thing that I would do is under the interest, I would put the actual interest. So I would put a very broad keyword. So in this case, I would do scuba diving. So if you notice, if I put scuba mask, it doesn't even show up. So what you're looking for is a very, very broad keyword. So in this case, scuba diving. Now, what's even better is if you can find like a magazine. Let's see if this one's a magazine. Yeah, so this one's a magazine. And the reason why magazines are great is because magazines they'll do everything in their power to promote their magazine. So they get a lot of traffic coming to their page. So if you can find a Facebook page as well, that would be great as well. But as you can see here, we can see 61% is men, and then of course 39% are women. The majority of men, it looks to be from the ages 35 to age 54. Same with the females as well. So there's females, males, it seems like the largest group is 35 to 54. So after you have a better idea of the age and gender, you can of course take a look at the lifestyle, which will give you a better idea of what kind of pictures you can use for your Instagram profile. Looks like there's a lot of married and college, well educated, and there's a lot of veterans, government, and military. So we have a better idea of what kind of pictures that we should choose. You can go to page likes and get an idea of the different pages. Go to these pages, take a look at the pages, see which images get the highest comments, the highest likes, and then maybe use similar images for yourself as well. Location is okay, but it doesn't really matter right now. Really what we care more about is just the demographics and the page likes. and that's all you have to do. Now, if you want to narrow into a very specific area, let's say men 45 to 54, you can always click this and get a better narrow view. But even if you click that, we can see that it's about pretty much the same. So once you're done with that, you are good to go to the next video. Welcome to video number 5. Let's talk about traffic source number 1. So the first source is called shoutouts. The way this works is by finding another Instagram follower who has a massive following, then paying them to promote you. So instead of contacting them, which you can do if you want to, there are many different sites out there that you'll be able to find these Instagram influencers and then approach them, pay them money, and then of course get them to build essentially and promote your Instagram profile. There really aren't many methods that you can use to get tons of followers overnight, but this is one of them few. So let me go ahead and show you some sites that you can use, and I'm going to show you how to use them. Okay, so there are a few places that you can go to get shoutouts. And keep in mind that when you grow your Instagram profile to a point, you can do this as well and make some extra money on the side. But there are tons of people out there with massive size Instagram accounts. They might be directly related and they may not. So another reason why you really need to know your demographics is, let's say if we can't find somebody who is scuba diving Instagram profile. If that's the case, then we need to look for something out of the box, like maybe camping or something of that nature, where we find people who maybe not necessarily are fanatical scuba divers, but they want to see the coral reefs and they want to see the beautiful ocean, but they're campers. They love the experience already. So you might need to look at other niches and bring them over. So that's just something to keep in mind, because you're not always going to find somebody who has an exact profile in your niche. If you do, then great, that's awesome. But I just want to go over a few sites that you can go to for now. The first one being shoutcart.com. That's shoutcart.com. Another one is shoutotter.com. And you can see that you can see the different shoutouts that you can get access to. And we have plughype.com. So you can see there are many different things like fitness, there's recipes and health and fitness, yoga, and all that. So let's go over here and we got buysellshoutouts.com. And then of course on fiverr.com, fiverr.com, you can also type in Instagram shoutout and you'll be able to find a bunch here. Now keep in mind, make sure that they are either targeted, or if they are not, the demographic that they're trying to attract is a similar demographic you have. So if you don't know, always contact them and say, hey, my demographic is male, ages from 25 to such and such. I was just curious to make sure that your audience is very similar as well. So they should know that kind of stuff. If they don't know, then don't use them, because you want to make sure that you find somebody who is knowledgeable. But if you go to shoutcart.com, you can create a free account. You can click on browse up at the top, and you can do a search for the keyword. So like I said, I clicked on this one here, but you can see that for a 2-hour shout, which means they're going to shout out to their audience. They're going to say, hey, follow this guy over here. They can, for 2 hours, it's only $5. For 24 hours, it's $10. For a permanent shout out, that's $15. So you can go here, check it out. These other ones are good as well. Now, Fiverr, I will say be careful. Some of these people specifically, and other sites as well, but some people create their Instagram profiles for this very reason. So maybe they have a large following, but at the end of the day, they don't really have quality followers. And the way you know that is by clicking this right here, or doing a search for their name and doing your own due diligence and figuring out, okay, are they actually getting comments, likes, and all of that? Or are they just blasting a bunch of stuff and they're not getting any engagement, right? So it's better to actually buy something, a shout out from somebody who is actually getting engagement. All right. Hello and welcome back. This is video number 6, traffic source number 2. There are a very few software apps out there that will allow you to find other Instagram followers in your specific niche and follow them. Now, of course, this is a warning to you that Instagram has in the past banned some of these apps. So use this at your own risk. If you want to do the white hat way, I would do traffic source number 1, number 3, and number 4. But even number 3 and 4, you can get banned if you overdo it. So the key here is not to overdo it. Instagram, I believe someone said that you have about 500 actions that you can take for every 24 hours, meaning likes, comments, and all of that. More than that is just going to look spammy. So typically, if you're just getting started, it's probably best if you start at a lower rate, like 100, and then increase it to maybe 150 or more. But if you start out and do like 400 likes, 400 follows, and all of that, that's just going to red flag the algorithm, and you do not want to go down that path. All right. So one specific software is called Follow Adder. That's FOLLOWADDER, and this will allow you to basically find Instagram influencers in your niche and then follow them. So you can follow, you can unfollow Instagram users, you can schedule posts, and another way to get more followers is to even post more. So the more you post, the more exposure that you will get, especially if you are piggybacking on hashtags, which we'll talk later on. But Follow Adder is a software tool, it's a bot that will automatically do a lot of things for you. But as we've seen with other industries as well, a lot of times big companies will crack down and they'll ban the accounts. So just keep in mind that we've seen that with LinkedIn, we've seen that with Facebook, we've seen that with just about any social media platform. So the key here is do it lightly and of course use this at your own risk.